Welcome back. Our mission for this deep dive is to try and crack the code on what might be one of the most brilliant but also most frustrating novels in American literature. William Faulkner's 1929 masterpiece, The Sound and the Fury.
It really is. It's the ultimate aha moment novel,
Yeah.
if you can just survive those first 50 pages.
Right.
And what's so fascinating is its origin.
Oh.
I mean, Faulkner wrote this without really expecting it to be published. It all grew from this one simple image he had.
The girl in the tree.
The girl in the tree, exactly. A girl, Caddy, climbing a tree, and her brothers are on the ground, looking up at her muddy underwear.
And that single image, that moment of sort of lost innocence, that became the seed for the whole saga of the decaying Compson family. And of course, the title itself, which you took from Macbeth, it frames the whole thing for you. Life as a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
And that quote is the perfect setup for the structure. The novel is split into 4 very distinct sections. The first 3 are just these raw stream of consciousness monologues from the 3 Compson brothers.
All set on different days, right? They're not in chronological order.
Not at all. We jump from 1928 back to 1910, then back to 1928 again. It's deliberately disorienting.
So let's start with the idiot himself. Benjy, in that first section from 1928, he's mentally disabled, he's mute, and his mind it has no concept of linear time.
None. He's mixing up something like 16 different time periods all at once. His whole world is pure sensory input, which is why it's so hard to follow at first.
He only uses, what, about 500 concrete words?
Right, and he has this synesthesia. He can literally smell temperature. He experiences big emotions like fear or love as what he calls bright shapes.
And the only clue we get as readers are the italics.
Exactly. Faulkner uses italics to signal those time shifts, but of course that's a sign for us. Benjy himself has no idea it's happening, which is part of the tragedy.
So, okay, if Benjy is completely lost in time, then Quentin, our second brother in 1910, is doing the opposite. He is desperately trying to stop time.
That's the perfect way to put it. It's his final day. He's planning his own suicide, and his mind is just pathologically obsessed with guilt and his sister Caddy's lost virtue.
He even breaks his watch.
He does. He's trying to escape time itself. And he's so consumed by this that he starts conflating people. He mixes up his sister's lover, Dalton Ames, with a classmate named Gerald Bland.
And you can actually see his mind breaking down in the prose.
Oh, absolutely.
One moment he's forming these complex, grammatically perfect sentences, and the next it all just dissolves into these frantic staccato fragments.
Then we get Jason in 1928. And Faulkner himself called him the most vicious character he ever created.
His section is much easier to read on the surface.
It is. It's straightforward, but it's just poisoned by this deep, bitter nihilism. He feels cheated out of everything. The bank job he was promised, the family land.
And that little phrase he uses over and over, like I say.
Yeah, that's not just filler. It's Faulkner showing us that Jason has completely stopped listening to the world. He just rehashes his old grievances. It's why his cruelty is so self-destructive. He'd rather chase his niece around town than pay attention to his cotton futures.
So after all this chaos, we finally get an anchor in the 4th chapter with Dilsey, the family's servant.
And this is where Faulkner finally switches to a third-person narrator.
Yeah.
It's the first time we get any real physical descriptions of the characters, like Benjy walking like a trained bear.
Right. And Dilsey is. I mean, she's universally seen as the book's moral center. She holds her own family together with this quiet grace that the Compsons could never manage.
And that's the core contrast, isn't it? The Compsons are all defeated by their nihilism, by their decay, but Dilsey endures. Her life is anchored by her daily tasks and her religious faith.
She has a healthier relationship with time.
She's the only one. She even knows how to fix the family's broken clock to make it tell the right time.
Okay, but I have to ask, some critics argue that the Dilsey section is almost too neat. You know, like Faulkner's giving us this easy moral roadmap after all the chaos. Is he kind of cheating at the end?
That's a fair critique, I see that. But I think the structure holds up because even the Easter sermon she attends is told in that same fragmented style as the rest of the novel. It acknowledges chaos, but it doesn't succumb to it like the brothers do.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to consider. The novel, for all its difficulty, helps secure Faulkner's Nobel Prize. In the very last scene, Benjy is holding a narcissus flower, which is a classic symbol of resurrection. But the flower is broken. So what does that broken symbol suggest about the possibility of any real endurance or resurrection for a family like the Compsons?